Let's start light with fart pills and slowly spiral into Hitler's truly cursed habits. Number 1, he pooped weird. Like, really weird. The man was popping over 28 different pills a day, many of them prescribed by his questionable doctor, Theodore Morell, a guy who basically played around with whatever was in his cabinet. He took pills for gas, pills for constipation, pills to make him poop, and pills to stop him from pooping. And one of them was made from bull testicles, because you can't be ruining the world and your wife's sex life at the same time. But Hitler's real enemy wasn't the world, it was his gas. Hitler's gas was so intense, he reportedly had to leave meetings early and refused to eat with certain guests just to avoid spontaneous diplomatic disasters, or weird smells of course. Hitler was reportedly so gassy, his personal doctor had to invent a pill to stop the man from sounding like a busted guitar during speeches. And still he would sometimes cancel events just because his stomach felt stormy. This was all thanks to his cake-heavy diet. But if you thought bull testicles were where Hitler drew the line, you'd have to think again. Number 2. See, in Hitler's quest for perfect gut health, his doctor gave him something you wouldn't expect in 1,000 years. Pills made from Bulgarian peasant poop. Yeah, let that sink in. Theodore Morell decided Hitler's digestion would improve if he swallowed tablets made from the bowel bacteria of supposedly pure and healthy Bulgarian villagers. Now you'd think, why Bulgarians? Why not good old Germans? Well, apparently their poop was better for some weird reason. Morell believed these villagers were strong and disease-free, so naturally he harvested their bacteria from their feces. Just don't ask how. And Hitler didn't even flinch. Dude was just popping poop capsules like they were Tic Tacs. This man could have tried vegetables, maybe water for a change, but why would you do that when you have access to some good old-fashioned Bulgarian feces? And if you think his stomach was sensitive, don't even get me started on his phobias. Number 3. He was scared of cats. Like, actually scared. We're talking about a full-grown, world-dominating dictator who'd probably flinch if a kitten brushed against his leg. According to several reports, Hitler had 𝐒𝐢𝐬𝐿, a legit fear of cats. You'd think the guy who invaded half of Europe wouldn't be shaken by a house pet, but apparently fluffy little whiskers was where he drew the line. It's weird too because the Nazis were obsessed with animals. They banned animal cruelty, pushed for vegetarianism, and even handed out fines for hurting dogs. Meanwhile, their leader was practically crossing the street to avoid a cat at any cost. No one ever dared bring a cat near him, because if they did, that might have been their last meeting. And considering how paranoid he already was, the idea of a silent, judgmental creature watching from the corner probably felt like psychological warfare. So yeah, feared by millions, but probably would have lost his shit if someone handed him a kitten. And just when you thought fear of cats was peak weird, you have got to know about Hitler's weird phobia that would stop him in his tracks. Number 4, dentists. Literal paralyzing fear of dentists. Which is wild because the man ordered mass invasions without blinking, but ask him to open wide for a cleaning and he'd probably start shaking. Here's the thing, Hitler had nasty teeth, like scary bad. His breath reportedly smelled like something died in his throat and refused to leave, and part of the reason was that he refused to brush regularly. Instead, he relied on a combo of sugar binges, weird meds, and occasionally rinsing with, wait for it, cocaine-based mouthwash. His dentist, Hugo Blaschke, claimed Hitler had rotting teeth, infected gums, and was terrified of even the smallest dental procedures. So terrified, in fact, he'd avoid checkups until things got so bad that he couldn't eat. Imagine being the dictator of Germany, with bunkers, armies and war plans, but getting taken down by a cavity. And yet, this same guy wanted to control every detail of everyone else's life, but couldn't even commit to flossing. And yeah, it's all fun and games until Hitler takes it up a notch with his weird codependent relationship with his pet fish. Number 5. So Hitler kept a tropical fish tank in his apocalypse bunker. In the final days of the Third Reich, while Berlin was being levelled and his regime was literally collapsing above his head, Hitler had a giant aquarium set up in his private bunker suite. So apparently quality time with his fish was more important than building morale of his army. And while generals panicked and the walls shook from nearby bombings, he was probably thinking, yes, but what do the fish feel? Eyewitnesses said he'd spend hours staring at them, just zoning out. Which makes sense, considering this man also believed in astrology, pseudoscience, and had a library full of cowboy novels. And that's just a fraction of the weird stuff this man did when he wasn't busy ruining the world. So, which of Hitler's bizarre habits shocked you the most? Drop it in the comments, and if you know someone who still thinks history is boring, send them this.